Many know me as Vice, the DJ collecting travel miles around the world, rocking clubs night after night. What you may not know is that I'm a native Angelino, self-described foodie, people connector, and enjoy driving new friends to experience the come up on some good tacos in the city I proudly call home. From the valley to the west side to everywhere in between, this is Electric Taco. Welcome to Electric Taco. It's been a long time coming.
I hit my head in. Hit my head in everything I get in.
But we got George Lopez.
What's up, everybody?
In the house. Let me just throw it out there. What'd you eat for breakfast today? What was breakfast? First thing you wake up, what'd you do?
Well, you know, I like to stay traditional and honor my grandmother, so I didn't eat breakfast. She would never have anything to eat.
The moment where comedy emotionally connected to me was when I heard you right now.
There was some pretty good stuff.
There's some good stuff, and to this day I can say, like, my parents' doorbell still doesn't work. We have cars that are old in the backyard. We my parents still won't answer the door. They still go to the side and look. And I never understood that because I never heard anyone talk about it.
Yeah.
But when I heard all your comedy, I'm like, oh, I get it.
You know, nobody likes to take criticism.
Right.
So they always say, can I give you some constructive criticism?
Right.
Which means it's even at a higher level than normal criticism. Like if you say, hey, you know what, I don't like when you leave your cap loose, that's criticism.
That's criticism.
But construction criticism is, I don't know who you think you are driving this car, you're not gonna be able to afford it. What you should do, dude, is you should just go back to school and learn something, because right now you don't know anything. That's constructive. That's when they break you down.
Yes.
So this guy, Dave Becky, who worked at I met him, he was the manager of the Improv in La Jolla, and he became a manager at 3 Arts in the early to mid 90s. And I was in New York at Caroline's, and I really didn't like my act, and I didn't like what I was doing. I was like false, and I just couldn't connect, you know. But I was doing all right. I was like charming, but I wasn't real, you know. I wasn't anywhere close to being real. And he comes to see me out of just courtesy that he knew I was in New York. And after the show, he came back, he goes, hey man, can I give you some constructive criticism? And I said, yeah. He goes, listen, when I watched you right now, I don't know what you like. I don't know where you're from. I don't know if you have any brothers, sisters. I don't know who raised you. I don't know where you are politically, and I don't know if you're married or anything. So he goes, you know, he used Chris Rock. You know, when you see Chris Rock, you know where he is politically. Right. You know how he feels about this. You know how he is politics. And I said, man, that's right. And he goes, isn't there somebody in your family that, you know, you think is funny? Like when I walked back to the hotel in New York, the whole way back, I was thinking, it's my grandmother. And I started to talk about my grandmother and just think about her and things that she would say and do. And that changed the direction of my career, but also my life.
Yeah.
And in that material, it gave me an appreciation of her where before I didn't really understand what she was saying. And then when you realize her life wasn't happy, how was you going to tell me to be happy?
That just connected emotionally, and I felt like I was laughing with purpose. Like this is,
thank you.
Like it was a proud moment as well as a funny moment, you know?
Yeah.
Like this is who we are. This is what our culture is, and this is the kind of shit we live through.
Well, you know, I grew up admiring black comedians. Richard Pryor's my idol, and I like Dick Gregory, who just passed. Like Paul Rodriguez was successful in '79, early '80s, but I wasn't like him. Yeah. And I like that nobody's compared us to each other because everybody would want to compare us to each other.
Yeah,
it was me and him and Angel Salazar in New York and a couple of other guys, but you know, I like the fact that, you know, I was the first one.
100%.
And now there's 1,000 of them, and females.
In a sense, do you accept others that are coming in underneath you and they're like, I like that there's a next generation or a wave? Or is it kind of like in the DJ mentality where like, I hope they understand and respect where it came from?
I think respect is everything. It's a singular position, like DJs, you know. When someone's kind to you and show you respect, you show respect. So respect is shown where respect is given. And I would have to say honestly that I don't think I get a lot of respect from the guys that are around. And that's them. That's not me. Like what did I do? I just worked hard and became a success for myself. And if you follow in those paths, or if I carved something out that wasn't there for you, you can take it.
You also have this vibe that I don't feel like you ever look backwards.
No, I don't
look backwards. You're always looking forward.
I used to worry about everything, and I don't worry about anything anymore. And I would worry about this and that, or about that, and this and that. And what if this doesn't work out?
Or critics and anything like that.
Nothing anymore, zero. And I don't care what anybody thinks of me, and if they show me respect, I will show respect. But you know, at this particular time in my life, 2017, we opened a restaurant, the show and syndication, and some other stuff that I don't feel like I need to convince anybody who George Lopez is. In the 90s, I tried to take acting classes, but I couldn't do what they did. Like, I couldn't get up and pretend to meet somebody on the street. I was closed off. I don't think I ever told this story. So, you know, but Valente played my best friend, Valente Rodriguez, Ernie, in the show. Yeah. So when we were writing the show, and the pilot was very good, where I had to fire my mom, and you know, I was made manager. It was a perfect pilot. In December of 2001, right before we went to Christmas break, we started to bring in some actors to read for the other parts. Okay. And I read with Valente. Valente is a very good actor, you know, he's a very trained actor. And I read with them, and I was so bad that you could see the look on my executive producer's faces, like, let's not, you don't have to read with anybody anymore. He's cool. And we went to Christmas break, and I said, man, that was awful.
Understanding your weaknesses is a big...
I'm gonna tell you something. If I had not hired an acting coach, that show would not have continued. Yeah? I was bad.
And it's different from standing on stage, right? It's night and day?
Standing on stage, because our eyes do this. You know, you're moving around, you can use your face, and I remember the first 4 episodes, I bugged out my eyes, you know, and they were like writing, you know, critiquing me. I bugged out his eyes, you know, and I did. I thought it was like the punchline. So
this is your new spot we're headed to?
My new spot. You know, it's funny because they came to me and they said, you ever think about opening a Mexican restaurant? It's like, every Mexican thinks about opening a Mexican restaurant.
So we get to eat. We're probably the first one stepping in there today. We're gonna check it out. Yeah. We're gonna hang out at Chingon Kitchen.
And it's really good, bro.
And then you'll see our panzas. Our panzitas, yeah. They'll be a little bit bigger when we come back.
I'll probably have to have cereal tonight because I ate so much.
The oatmeal, right? Flush it out.
Like the al pastor, that was a must. Like that was the first one. I said I want to have a feel of, you know, little Tijuana. You know, you get out there, yeah.
And when they get fancy, is when they slice it and it lands in the taco. Have you seen that one?
Dude, at Leo's Tacos right there. So dudes are like that. You know, but even this is like, this is like easy. It doesn't feel heavy.
No, it's perfect.
People would tell me, they go, hey, have you eaten at Trejo's Tacos? And I said, I don't eat at the place where the vato don't wear a shirt.
All right, we back. Woo! We're back. That felt good. That was a good one.
I'm gonna have to celebrate.
And the churros with the twist.
They twist it. They twist naturally, and when you're cooking them.
Yeah, because I was telling you, like, that's not what I never saw the twist.
No, it twists naturally because they make them by hand. So when it gets in the oil, I think the churros like, you know, it turns.
Just churns. You shut off.
That's a good question, man. You know, I'm gonna tell you that that I never had anybody tell me that I could be anything. I never had anybody tell me that I was good at anything, or that they loved me, or anything like that. Yeah. And then when I started to golf on Christmas Day of 1981, me and my friend Ernie went to go golf, and we didn't know what we were doing. We got a couple of beers. They sold beers to underage kids, and we rented some clubs. And I found a partner in golf that I didn't have as a human being. Like, when you do bad, if you get frustrated, you do worse. So in life, like if you're frustrated, the more you push, the worse you're going to become. So sometimes you have to take a step back, take a breath, and look at it and say, what's the best move now? Maybe the best move now is to keep going in this direction. So golf teaches the same way too. And I would get mad, and I was my grandparents would say, you're a hothead, you know, you cheat and you lie and stuff. And I did. Yeah. And golf taught me that, you know, if you lie, I'm only hurting myself. And if you cheat, you're only cheating yourself. So through all of those years, it taught me my temperament is different. And I just love the game, and I met some great people playing golf, some celebrities that became my friends, and it's just one of those things, man, that I found the thing for me that was something I didn't have in a human being.
Were you able to call? There's a question I had for you. Were you able to call Prince a friend?
Yes.
Because when you had him on your show, I couldn't understand because he doesn't do interviews.
I know. And he was he's really, really private.
Yeah.
So he came on my show to announce that he was going to do the month at the Forum. And then he says to me, will you introduce me? I said, yes.
Wow.
So I go to the Forum, he knows I'm there, they come over and they go, Prince wants to see you. And the people around were like, before the show, he goes, yeah, he wants George to come in. Just George. And I went in there and he goes, how is it out there? I said, come on, it's crazy, man. Dude, it's all right. He goes, I want you to introduce me. I want you to use my microphone. And then everybody said, he don't let anybody use his microphone. And he goes, but then I'm not going to come on right away. The music's going to play and then I'm going to come up. So just walk off stage. And then I said, all right. Hugged, they were sitting down talking. All the room was all purple, you know, stuff. So he had his shoes on and stuff. And then after the show, he wanted to see me again. So we went back there. And I said, oh, man, that was amazing, man. Did you like it? Oh, come on. What's not to like? And then this is crazy because he loved the joke that I would tell about my grandma that Chaka Khan stole my sweater.
Yeah.
So when I went to go see him, I made him shirts black with silver writing that said Chaka Khan stole my sweater. And he goes, are these for me? And I said, yes. And he goes, when I'm performing, I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna open my jacket and I want you to see me. So he's jamming, he's got this white suit on, he's got this t-shirt on, he's got his guitar, and he comes by and he goes, George, this is it. So he's on the other side, he runs by, he stops, you're clapping, he puts his guitar on the side, leans back, and he cut the sleeves off, and it said, Chaka Khan stole my sweater.
Whoa, is there a picture of this? I'll wrap this up for you, but if you were able to take yourself back to the young hitting lemons in the backyard, George Lopez, G-Lo, is there anything you wish you could tell yourself now and just be like, hey, let me just give you this little piece of advice?
I would say to not be afraid.
Yeah.
I was afraid of everything.
Just go for it?
Yeah. Just go for it. Don't be afraid.
I think that's everyone's
people they talk themselves out of things because
we're our worst critic from the beginning. Like we just
talk yourself out of things, and then all of a sudden time goes by, and you realize that that's the one thing you can't get back.
Yeah.
If you break up in a relationship, you can probably get that person back.
Yep.
But you crash your car, you get another car. You know.
All the worst experiences are it's the worst. It's not the worst.
All those things, and you can't get back people that you lose, or time. So yeah. You know, Carlos Santana told me, you know, a snake sheds its skin, and it leaves the past behind, and it goes in with the new skin. And he goes, we're people. We should shed our skin. It should never be the same.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And we'll do this again.
G-Lo, thank you,
awesome,
brother.
bro.
All day, man.
Style,
you have no idea. Maybe you do how much happiness you bring to your people, your brothers.
And thanks everybody there.
Yes, all day. Electric Taco, G-Lo, we did it. We out. Hey, what's up? It's Vice. Thanks for watching Electric Taco. More episodes to come. More feedback from you is what I need. Comment, like, subscribe, hit me, and I'll hit you with 1,000 tacos for life. Every day. Free. No charge. Just kidding. Or not.